The MK.
Thanks, Deputy Speaker. We gather here today to reflect critically on the findings from our oversight visits to Stellenbosch and the city of Cape Town, particularly Lwandle Village. Our responsibility as the Committee on Human Settlement is not only to observe, but to ensure that our intervention translates into meaningful progress. This oversight visit was motivated by our constitutional obligation to monitor and evaluate human settlements, ensuring that every South African has access to adequate housing. Our site inspections, engagement with stakeholders, and assessment of service delivery have revealed significant gaps. Critical concern arising from our visit is lack of accountability among key role players, particularly within the ministry and relevant municipal bodies. The continued delays in project implementation, inefficient resource allocation, and lack of clear communication channels highlight systemic failures that cannot be ignored. Why is the Strand Block project being delayed despite existing budget and policies? Who is responsible for ensuring that timelines are met, and why has there been no consequence for non-performance? Funds allocated for housing projects must be utilized effectively. Where is the transparency in budget expenditure, and why are we seeing little to no improvement in informal settlements? Residents remain largely uninformed about project timelines, their rights, and expected outcomes. How do we bridge these communication gaps to restore trust between authorities and the communities? There must be stringent oversight of government officials and contractors responsible for project execution. Performance evaluation should have real consequences for underperformance. Housing challenges require multi-tiered government collaboration. Departments must align their efforts to prevent bottlenecks in service delivery. Affected residents should be active participants in decision-making processes. Town hall meetings, clear project timelines, and accessible grievance mechanisms are essential. The delays in informal housing delivery perpetuate socio-economic disparities. Expedited and transparent processes must be implemented to ensure timely project completion. Regular financial and operational audits should be conducted to track project efficiency and curb corruption or mismanagement. It is deeply concerning that the successive administration, including former ruling party and the Democratic Alliance, have failed to demonstrate the necessary urgency and accountability in addressing this housing crisis. Despite numerous commitments and allocated resources, the completion of only 16 out of 40 houses stands as a stark indictment of ineffective governance and poor project execution. Furthermore, the so-called DA-ANC coalition, now operating under the guise of Government of National Unity, has served to exacerbate these inefficiencies. Where are the promised 1 million houses for our people? Isn't this a violation of the Freedom Charter fundamental principles, that there shall be houses, security, and comfort? All people shall have the right to live where they choose, be decently housed, and to bring their families in comfort and security. Rather than accelerating the delivery of housing and ensuring tangible progress, this political arrangement has fostered a climate of bureaucratic inertia, diluted accountability, and critical program objectives to remain unfulfilled. Ngqongqoshe, uyazi ukuthi sekuphela iminyaka e11 lapha kuleya ndawo ebesihambela kuye eCity of Cape Town naseStellenbosch abantu bakhona fanele ngabe sebakhele izindlu eziwu-40, but till today kusakhiwe izindlu eziwu-16. I thank you, Honourable Deputy Speaker.
The EFF.
President, Commander-in-Chief, Commissars, fighters, ground forces of the EFF, and let me take this time to wish the President of the EFF a happy belated birthday. Chairperson, the leadership of the government of the Western Cape and that of the municipality of Stellenbosch come from a grouping of people that views African people as less than human beings. And therefore, their approach to the plight of black people is determined by this attitude, meaning that there's nothing fundamentally groundbreaking with the governance of Western Cape. Look at the example of GIF informal settlements, which we visited during the oversight. The informal settlement has been in existence of the past 37 years. There are no services provided, and one of the excuses by the municipality is that this is so because of the settlement is on a privately owned property. For a whole 37 years, the municipalities wants to tell us that the property is privately owned and they cannot do anything on it. What of the legal mechanisms that the municipality has at its disposal, including the power to expropriate the land for the benefit of our people? The same goes for the condition of our people in Slabtown in Klitsville. There is simply no sense of urgency from the municipality and provincial government to deal with the plight of those whose rights to home is denied by the socio-economic positioning in this country. The less said about Kayamnandi, the better. Originally built as a labor concentration camp for the farms around Stellenbosch, Kayamnandi has never managed to transcend the purpose for which it was built in the minds of those leading the province and the municipality. The inability to deal with the human settlement problems and all its attendant problems emanates from this inability to reimagine that Kayamnandi can exist as an area for human settlements and not just a labor concentration camp. The Stellenbosch municipality is doing all it can to maintain the racist, apartheid, spatial planning in the area. And without the intervention of national government, the plight of our people living in these informal settlements will never change. In Kayamnandi, for instance, it was determined that the structures there are severely dilapidated and unfit for human habitation. The structures have gaping holes in their walls, openings in asbestos roof sheets, broken windows, and experience stormwater flooding inside when it rains. Stormwater enters through gaping holes in walls and openings in asbestos roof sheets. The structures have no roof ceilings, and the asbestos roof sheets release fibers when disturbed, posing a serious threat to health risk if inhaled. This has persisted over a number of years. The EFF is encouraged by the resilience and the initiative taken by the communities of GIF, Slabtown, Kayamnandi, and Lwandle informal settlements, who have written endless petitions in pursuit of the rightful attention of the Portfolio Committee. Thank you.